Yeah, you ghastly nights, souls I'll keep. DHD is where horror meets. I am Doogie. This is Doogie's Horror Den. It is that time of year. Like this, get the hell out of here. Because it's not that time anymore. Now this, Happy New Year? No. You know why? Because it's time for my annual worst movies of 2024. I've got 10 of them this time around, so let's dive into a bite because that's the way these movies will make you feel if you watch them. Now, before I get to this list, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and tell me what were some of the movies you wanted to expire the most this year after watching them. Because I got 10 right here. And I have a rating system, but you already know that. MD, MDK. We are not doing that again. This is just the list. Now, let's divulge into the worst movies that I personally have seen for the first time in 2024. Now, coming in at number 10 is a movie that came out in 2023, directed by David Gordon Green, and this was a direct sequel to one of the most amazing horror movies of all time, The Exorcist. He might have just exorcised himself because this is The Exorcist Believer. Now, pile of crap. Did not like it. It was okay, but the whole film focused on one of the two girls and didn't really give a crap about the one. And then she expired, and nobody cared anyway. And I think that was one of the many reasons why people didn't like this movie. Fortunately for us horror movie fans, Mike Flanagan is taking control of the Exorcist franchise, and hopefully he brings it back to glory. If not, yeah. So, now number 10. Coming in at number 9 this year is a movie that came out in 2011, directed by Ty West. This movie is called The Innkeepers. Now, this movie is about two New England hotel employees who like to snoop around and investigate paranormal activity in the building. And it turns out there are actually some ghosts in the building. And the premise is really good. It just did not work. And the ending was horrible. It was boring. Didn't care about the characters at all. To me, it shouldn't have been made. So if you've watched The Innkeepers, I am sorry. But don't go out watching it. Don't search. Because you notice I'm not giving you where these movies are because I'm trying to steer you away from these movies. Okay? So that was The Innkeepers in at number 9. Coming in at number 8 is a movie that came out in 2022, directed by Jessica Thompson. This movie is called The Invitation. Now, this is about a woman who lost her mother, has no family, and she did a DNA test and she finds out that she had a cousin who lives in England. So she goes out there for a wedding, and it turns out it's her wedding because she's marrying a vampire. And I didn't like this movie at all, wasn't scared. It was just damn boring. And then when you get to the best part of the movie, it was just lasted 2 seconds and it was over. I just didn't like it. I didn't connect with it. Some person somewhere might have, but not me. So The Invitation is on my worst list, coming in at number 8. Coming in at number 7 is a movie that came out in 2017, directed by Sean Burkett. This movie is called Animal Inside. This is a werewolf movie, and it's about a woman who gets attacked at night and then moves away from the city and then starts turning into a wolf. It really wasn't that good. She scratches her friend, so her friend at the end starts turning into a wolf as well. Skip it. Skip it. Don't watch it. It was not that good. So please stay away from Animal Inside. Coming in number 6 is a movie that came out in 2018, directed by Vlad Yunin. Let me just clear my throat. No, I can't do that yet. I can't expire. I must get through this list. There's a movie called Catskill Park. And it's about these friends who go out on the Catskills to get camping, mind you, in the middle of winter, and get caught in this blizzard. And then they hear aliens outside their tents. And these aliens start messing them up. Didn't mess them up for me. It was not good. It was too, I don't know. I just didn't like it. It wasn't scary. It was mid-grade. I don't know. Not mid-grade, but it's just skip it. Don't watch it. It was not good. Okay, those are their 10 through 6. Now is the top 5 worst movies of the year. Coming in at number 5 is a movie called Starry Eyes. Came out in 2014, directed by Kevin Kolsch and Dennis Widmeyer. It's about a woman who will do anything to be famous in Hollywood. So pretty much she sells her soul to this devil and she kills her friends. And then she becomes part of the in crowd at the end of the movie, and that was it. I really, you know what? The movie wasn't bad up until the ending. And the ending is what really got under my skin. When you expire your best friend by ripping out her tongue, I don't see why she expired. But her other expirings were great. Can't complain until the last one. And for me, that just turned the whole movie upside down. I didn't like it. So, sorry, not sorry, Starry Eyes in at number 5. Coming in at number 4. This movie really pissed me off. Came out in 2015. It is a sequel. Multiple directors. This movie is called All Hallows Eve 2. Should not have been made. Just put it to you like that. Should not have been made. It's about a woman who is at home on Halloween, and this masked person puts a VHS tape by her door. She watches it and watches these stories on there. They really weren't that good. And at the very end, after she finishes watching the tape, the man with the pumpkin mask is in her house, and you see his mask come up right next to her, and it cuts. See nothing. So after all that, shit. Not good. That is why it's number 4 on the worst of the year. Coming in at number 3. It's also a movie that came out in 2022, directed by Alessio Ligori. This movie is called Alien Annihilation. Now, this movie could have been good, but it had too much damn bouncing around and screaming at night, and it was just hard to follow. It's about these classified tapes that show the aliens took over a town, and did something with all the people who live there. And of course, these poor people decide, oh, let's just go into this town and see what's going on. And they're like mimicking them, and it was not the one. The tunnel scene seemed to go on for like 15 hours. Okay, it was after a while you start like, if the movie intended was to make you actually sick to your stomach because you're sick and tired of all the bouncing around, okay, you made your point. But it was just bad. But not as bad as my next two movies. Coming in at number 2 is a movie that came out in 2017, directed by Adam McDonald. This movie is called Pyewacket. This movie was boring as hell. And it's about a daughter who's upset at her mother for leaving her father, and they go move to this new house in the middle of the woods. And then apparently this daughter forms a ritual to resurrect this creature called Pyewacket to kill her mother. And just because she's mad at her, she's a brat, she's a teenager, and the thing comes, kills her mother. I'm stabbing myself with the knife right now. It's hurting. It's hurting. And then, of course, you can't control a demon once you resurrect him, and it comes after her as well. So you got what you got coming. I'm a teenager. So yeah, I did not like Pyewacket at all. So don't watch it. And if you have, I apologize. Here, take this. Take this right now. Take it. So, it all boils down to this. My number 1 worst movie of the year. Anybody who watches this movie should be put in an insane asylum. This movie came out in 2004. Okay, directed by Gabriel Bartalos. This movie is called Skinned Deep. Now you're like, oh, that's the one with Warwick Davis. Yes, you know what? Warwick Davis is in it. But that's a highlight of this movie. But his part was fucking horrible. His character was called Plates. And you know what he does to people? He throws plates at them. And that's supposed to be scary and supposed to inspire you. At this point, I give up. The main villain of the movie was the only bright spot, was called the Surgeon General. And he expired this one kid amazingly, split him right in half. And that was the best part of the movie. I'm like, hey, this movie's going to be great. It's going to be gory. I'm going to love it. Fell to shit. Horrible, horrible movie. Don't you ever watch Skinned Deep. Thank you for watching this version of Doogie's Horror Den, the top 10 worst movies of 2024. Watch a horror movie. None of these. Watch a good one. So what are they going to do? Scare you.